Hi everybody, this is Pat in the paper closet. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Okay, like I said a while ago, today we're gonna sew in the signatures to our happy junk journal. I've got 3 signatures. Got one ready. I've marked my holes and I punched them all out with the awl. I did measure with the ruler. I wanted to keep them as even as I could. So I have from this edge to this edge is the same as this edge to the back edge. So that there'll be an even amount of space for the covers. And then I marked 3 holes. These are 1/2 inch apart. I did the middle one first, and then I did the rest. I didn't get them perfect, but that's okay. This is a junk journal. Nothing's perfect. Okay, now we'll see how this goes today. I have my thread. I have my needle all threaded for the first one. I was trying to be ready. I have my first signature. No, this is my last signature. You start with the back one. Makes it a lot easier. If you were to start with the front one and finished it, as you're trying to sew in the second and the third, these are going to be falling on top of your pages. So it's easier to do it this way. At least for me. May not be for you. I put the holes in my signature. I folded them all up evenly. Got them all together. Made sure they were all tapped down and inside the crease. And then I clipped them. And then I held it up to my book. Made sure the bottom and the top were inside the cover. And then I just put a little mark on the end of each one where the hole is. I did that with a pen. And then I poked from the outside with my awl all the way through, right on the crease. And then I turned it over and I did poke again, which I think I made the holes too big, but that's okay. You can barely see the holes. So we'll see how this turns out. Now we know this is only the 5th junk journal I've ever done. This is the first one I've ever done with 3 signatures. I did one with 2 signatures, and I did 3 of them with 1 signature. So this is my first on 3 signatures. Okay, so I'm going to start, put my needle in the middle, through the middle hole. That was quite easy. Now this is the row I'm working on, the one towards the back. I'm going to go through the center hole, which should work. Okay, that's in. Usually a little difficult to get the needle through the back. Okay, I'm going to pull it, not all the way. I'm going to leave this end hanging over here so that I can kind of hang on to it as I'm pulling my string. Now I'm going to go to the top hole. No, I think I'll go to the bottom hole first. From the outside, I'll thread this to the outside. You're going to go in this bottom hole. Oops. This is very awkward. I'm going in the wrong hole. This one. Okay, I'm through the big cover. Now I want to go through the signature, the hole in the top. Okay, I'm through. So far, so good, people. Look. Check the outside so you don't have any tangles. Okay, now I'm going to go from, this is my tail. Let me put it in the right orientation here. This is where I started. Went through here, up this hole. Now we're going to go to the top hole. So I'm gonna go through the signature. Hopefully, there we go. I'm through the signature. Can you see that? And I'm gonna go through, I'm on this line here, this top hole. Put my needle through the top. Okay, I'm through. Now, wiggle it through. A little hard to get the needle through that little hole. Mine is quite a big hole, but it's okay. Okay, so now we're through all the 3 holes. We went through here, came up here, we went down here, and that's where we are now. So now we're going to, let me get my bearings. We're going to go back through this middle hole and try to find the middle hole in the signature. There, I'm through. Okay. I'm sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. Very awkward. I got my hands in the way. Alright. I've got my ends twisted up here. One on one side of the string, the center string. See the center string? You want one tail on this side, then your original tail on the other side of this string. And take my needle off. I'm going to pull it, but not too tight. I'm going to check the outside. That looks good. It's a little bit loose. Let me tighten it up a little bit more. I'm just pulling both ends a little bit. Just tighten it up a little. Okay, so one tail's on one side, one tail's on the other side. Now we're going to tie a knot. My hands are in the way, I know. I'm sorry. One. Now one the other way. This string is too long for tying a knot. Okay, I've tied one knot. Tying the second knot. Pulling it tight, not too tight. You don't want to break your thread. And I'm going to tie one more knot, just to be sure. Okay, that's good and tight. I'm just going to trim these off. You could leave these long. You could put charms on them or beads. But I haven't gotten to that point yet. So I'm just going to trim mine off. Right about there. Okay, so now we have one signature sewn in. It looks like it's in a good position. That's outside and inside of the cover. Looks good. So I'm going to take these clips off. And I'm going to fold this over. I'm going to get my bone folder. Like reach. Try to give this a really good press so my pages stay folded evenly. Okay, so that's the last signature. Now, this is going to be the second signature. It's going to go in this row of holes. So I'm going to line this up with my previous insert right next to those holes. Hold it tightly. I'm going to take a pen. I'm just going to put a little dot on the crease where the hole should be. show you when I finish. 2. This is 3. Okay. So this is my next signature. Let me take this clip off here. I'm gonna open it up. Make sure everything's right side up here. I don't think anything, maybe that one page has direction. This one, and it's right. Alright, now I want to give this a good tap. Get everything down in the crease and even. I'm gonna open it up again, and I'm gonna put my clips on so that it stays in place. I don't want the pages moving. They're where I want them now. They're all even. So that's that side. I'm gonna put one on this side. Nice and even. If I had more of these clips, I would use them. These seem to hold much better. I hate them. Okay, so there are my marks. Can you see them? There's 1, there's 2, and here's 3. So now I have the holes already in my cover. I need to make the holes in my signature. I'm gonna open this up carefully. Find my little piece of foam. Put that on there. Make sure everything's staying straight. I'm gonna take my awl, put it right on the center of that crease, on the dot. Press it in. Watch your fingers. It's all very sharp. Okay, that's the top one. Now the center one. Can you see my mark? I think you can. Press it down, straight down. I have my little foam behind there. I'm in the foam actually. There we go. Okay, push it in. Give it a squiggle. So your hole is big enough. Okay, now we want to do the bottom hole. On the hole, right in the crease, pressing it in, pushing it through, giving it a little wiggle. I think we're good. The pages haven't moved, so that's good. Okay, now we're going to fold this back up. It's going to go in the second line. So now I need to rethread my needle. To do this, we need 3 lengths of thread. 1, 2, 3. And I leave that little extra so I have enough to tie it. Okay. Now if I can find my needle, what do I do with it? Here it is. Okay. Large eye needle makes it much easier to thread, usually. There we go. Okay, I don't put a knot in this. You see what happened to my wax thread? I had it in my little plastic container that I keep all the awl and the threads in, and the needles, and it was upstairs. And the room got so hot that the wax melted. I had this on top of it. It melted right onto the foam. So my whole spool now has foam on it. But it's okay because as I unroll it, it's just a little bit on each piece that I pull off. Okay. But it's so hot up there. Okay, I'm going to start in the center hole again, as before. Go through the hole, pull through, leave a tail I can hang on to here. Now we're already through the signature. We want to go through the center hole of the second row on the cover. Wait, let me figure out how to grab this. I'm new at this, folks. Very awkward is what it is. Not hard, just awkward. Okay, now I'm going to go to the bottom hole. Line this up again. From the outside, see we came out here. We're going to go in here, into the cover. Okay, I'm in the cover. Now I'm going to go through the bottom hole in the signature. And through. Get the needle through. Straighten things out again here. Want this a little bit more. Okay. Now, we went through here to the outside, up here to the inside. Now we're going to go up to the top. We're going to go through the top hole of the signature. If you push straight down, it should go through. There we go. Through the signature. Whoa. See what I did? I almost pulled it all out. Can't pull it too far away from the book. Now, let me see if I can show you this. We're going to go in the top hole of the second row. That's the row we're working on right now. To the outside of the cover. Whew. Yeah, I'm giving you sound effects. Very hard to get it through the cover. Alright, we're through. So now we have our side thread, our long piece, and we're on the outside of the book. So now we're going to go back through the center hole that we already came through. If I could line it up with the signature all at once, that would be good. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Let me see. Pull this back a little bit. Okay. You see the hole? I'm going through the signature. I'm in. Center hole. Make sure things are pulled a little bit. Pull my other tail. There. And then my stringer flat. Okay, I'm on the inside. And like before, we want one string on one side of the long piece, the long stitch that we made, and one piece on the opposite side. And we'll give it a pull. Both directions. Okay, we can take off our needle. Cut that down so we can tie a knot. Now we're tying up. Just as before. One. Try to make what they call a square knot. So we get over one side and under the other side. That's two. Now my third one. You don't have to do a third. Just want to make sure. Pull it. Okay. Trim them off. Unless you plan on using them, like I said, for a charm or beads. But that's not what I'm doing. Okay, now I can take off my clips. Pull this back as much as I can. Take my bone folder. Give it a good press. I'm going to get those good creases in the page. all of your pages. Okay, that's number 2. We're looking pretty good. Let's see. When we close the book, pages are on the inside, top and bottom and side. We're doing pretty good. But we have one more to go. So I don't want to speak too soon. I'm going to thread my needle again. 1, 2, 3 lengths, plus a little bit more. Okay. Now, thread my needle. I would put, here it is. There we go. I think, yeah. All right, now we're going to get the third signature. Take my little clip off. These are altered paper clips. Now we have to mark this one first. Tap it down on a flat surface. Make sure everything's even. And now we're going to mark it for this line. I'm going to put it right up to the line, even with my previous pages here. I'm going to mark it with my pen, a very small little mark. And the middle one, and the bottom one. All right, they're all marked. Now we're going to put our clips on here at the center. Here's the center. Make sure everything's straight. Put on our clips. Just make sure if you have any directional paper that you're in the right direction. That's good for me. Okay, this clip. And then this clip. You still want your paper to shift while you're doing all that moving about like you so many do. Okay, I'm gonna get my little foam piece. I'm gonna turn it over. And can I see my marks? Yes. There's one here, and one here. Okay. Take our awl, put it on my mark. Where is my mark? I thought that was it, but I see it. It's right here. Press it through. Watch your fingers. Take it around a little bit. Make the hole a little bit bigger. Now we're going to do the center one. Can you see my mark right there? Put the awl straight down on the crease. I have to find a new piece of foam. Okay, that should be good. That's the second hole. Now I'm going to do the last one. My mark's right here. Take my awl, put it straight on the crease, straight up and down. Push it through. Wiggle it around a little, not too much. Alright, now we're ready to sew it in. Make sure I have it the right way now. This is the right side up. Now we're going to work on our last line, these 3 holes. Put that down. Take my thread, my needle and thread. We're going to go through the center hole. We always start in the center. through this first hole, pull your thread through, leave that tail. You don't want to pull it through, you'll have to start over. Now we're going to go to the middle hole of the cover, the center hole. Let's get things lined up here. Put it through the center hole. Pull your thread. Open up your signature. Now I can pull it. Not too much. We don't want to pull out the center, the tail. Okay. And now we're on the back of the book. I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to go through this top hole of the last row that we're working on. Get my needle through there. Always watch your tail. Don't lose it. Okay, I'm going to go through the top hole of the signature. Okay, I'm through. Pull out the needle. Tighten up your string a little bit. Okay, and now let me get right side up again. I'm upside down. Okay, we're in this top hole. We went through the center, came up the top. Now we're going to go all the way to the bottom. That last bottom hole. I'm going to go through the signature, through the hole in our cover. Can you see it? Okay, we're through. Bring our needle through the outside. Pull our thread. See how it looks from the outside. Okay, it's pretty tight. Now we're going to go back to the center hole, like we did before. Through into the cover. One day I'll come right through the signature, but not today. Things are going okay as I go. Let me find the holes. This one's going to give me trouble, of course. Things are going too well. See the hole? There we go. We're up through the center. Don't forget, keep your tail there. You don't want to lose it. Give it a little tug. Let's see how it looks from the outside. Alright, no big gaps. No big loose strings. That's good. Okay, now the same as before. We need one tail on one side of the string and one tail on the other side of the string. Take off the needle. Pull it. Okay, tie a knot. I didn't trim it, but that's okay. Second knot. Pull it tight. Not too tight, I don't want to break the thread. And third knot. Okay, we can trim them off, or you can leave them long if you wish. You want to use them. Okay, take off the clips. All in all, that was not too bad. Better than I thought. I really expected to have a lot more difficulty finding the holes. Alright, I want to push this signature down. Try to crease it as much as I can. Just so it knows where to stay. And look, we're pretty even. The bottoms of the pages, the tops of the pages. Now these are not going to be even because they're moved over half an inch. Everything's inside the book. Nothing's hanging out. Very good. And we did it. We did 3 signatures without any major problems. I'm very surprised. Here's our first. Center. Here's our second. Here's the center. Here's our center. And here's the third. Here's our center. So we have our 3 signatures. Each signature, I believe, has 11 sheets, which gives us 44 pages. You get 4 on each sheet. You get 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 44 in one signature. Times 3. 44, that's 12. 132 pages we have in our book. This is our Happy Junk Journal. This is our front. Remember I said I wanted to keep this as the front page. Nothing's upside down that I see yet. I don't think any of my pages, other than those few, were directional. That one's in the right position. That one's good. All right, we did it. I'm very happy with that on my Happy Junk Journal. So I hope you're following along. It wasn't hard. I really thought it was going to be harder. As you can see here, you can see the space that we left. That's so that your pages can spread out as we add pockets and tags and tucks and whatnots. Journal cards, so your pages have room to spread out. It will probably lift up a little bit, but not too much. I don't put a lot of pockets in my books. Okay, so I hope that helped. I hope yours goes as well. Take your time. Careful making your holes. Use a nice sharp awl. Mine has a little plastic cover that goes over the point. I can get it back on. I don't know which end is open. There we go. There it is. That covers up my point. I have my wax thread, my large-eyed needle, some clips, and it worked very well. Okay, so I hope you like this video. If you like this, please hit the like button. That helps me get more views on YouTube, which helps my channel to grow. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, and you'll be notified of when the next video is up. Next video will be putting in pockets. I have some already made, ready to go in. So we'll make a few more, we'll glue them in, maybe add the tags. We'll see how far we get. Okay, so thank you for coming. Thank you for subscribing to all those that have subscribed already. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back soon. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.